What's up guys, and welcome back to another video. Finally, after a long time. I haven't been making any videos in the transition period because I did not want to be among those people who continue to tell my viewers that Trump can still win. So I didn't want to be a part of that train, but it's a new year. It is unfortunately a new administration and a new Senate. So things have not been going exactly as many of my viewers were hoping for. But today I'm going to do the same thing that Red Eagle Politics did on his channel, which is to rate the 2024 Republican potential candidates in the tier ranking. So let's get to it. The first one here is Steve Bannon. Now Bannon, where do I put him? He is a good strategist, he's a good ideologue. I don't think he would ever be good for public office. But there are some positives with him too, so I'm going to put him in this C tier. Dan Bongino, more of a gentleman, more of a dude that actually can hold public offices and be serious, and who doesn't look like a homeless person. Dan Bongino though is not someone who I would really vote for in a Republican primary, and I don't really know much about his issues. I'm going to put him also in the C tier. Candice Owens is very good at debating. She has not held a public office. I think she should before she runs for president, and she's quite young. She is quite tempered. I think that she'll go in the D tier. Although these three people are people I do agree with ideologically, I don't think they are very strong candidates for winning national elections, being electable. And number 4 here is completely opposite. Charlie Baker. Ideologically, I think he's maybe too liberal, he's a never Trumper, but he is definitely someone who could win an election on the national level. Absolutely. I mean, he can win in Massachusetts. He won with 2/3 of the vote in 2018 in Massachusetts. So he's definitely a strong candidate, and if you're a Republican, you have to vote for the Republican candidate over the Democrat, even if this candidate is a bit more liberal than you might want. So, like, if the Republican ticket was Charlie Baker and the Democratic ticket was Kamala Harris, there's no question. And he's definitely someone who could get moderates, a lot of moderates, both moderate Democrats and Republicans. Next one is Condoleezza Rice. Now she has her fingerprints on every foreign war in the last 2 decades. I'm just going to put her in the category of please don't run. It wouldn't go well, but of course she is not going to run, so let's be frank. Next one is Dan Crenshaw. Now Crenshaw has had a few different positions. He has really hard supported the wall. He has also by some been called more of a neocon lately, and sort of a establishment Republican that has moved from the Trumpism train to that area. But he is from suburban Texas, so I won't blame him. But I think he's a good guy, and I will definitely consider voting for him, so I'll put him in the B tier. The next one is the Lieutenant Governor of Texas. What's his name? I don't know anything about him, so I'm going to put him in the average tier among with the other C students. Next one is Eric Trump. Out of the Trump family people, I could see that happen. I don't think he would run in 2024, maybe later. But there are other candidates that I would rather vote for, but I'm going to put him in the B tier along with Dan Crenshaw. The next one is Matt Gaetz. Matt Gaetz is a fighter. He's a congressman from Florida. He is a strong pro-Trumper, and I believe that he has been part of the Freedom Caucus. So I'm going to put him in the A tier. It's the best candidate so far. Next one is Greg Abbott, governor of Texas. Now, he has been a typical conservative and a pro-Trump governor. So where do we put him? He has a lot of experience, he has the right office, the governor of the biggest state in the biggest Republican state in the union. That means something, right? I'm going to put him in the B tier, because there are other candidates that could be better. But it would be cool to have like another FDR kind of person. Now, The next one is Nikki Haley, which is someone that many people want to run. I do not want Nikki Haley to run. Now, it might at this moment seem a bit sexist that I'm putting her in the please don't run category, but there will be other people that won't just be women. And speaking of other people, Larry Hogan, the governor of Maryland, who is very liberal, of course he's from a very liberal state, he has been supporting impeachment of Trump, and unlike Charlie Baker, I don't see him as the typical charismatic guy that could win a general election as the Republican nominee, so that's why he should not run. And someone else who should not run is Ivanka. She might be the daughter of President Trump, but she's far more liberal socially, and I don't really know what she has to offer for an administration in terms of ideology, in terms of experience. No, I would not vote for Ivanka, and she should not run at all. The next one is a true patriot. It's Josh Hawley, and he's in the S tier. Straight to the S tier for Josh Hawley. He is probably, if not my favorite senator, one of my favorite senators. He might actually be my favorite senator. He is always correct on the issues. He always fights for what is right and what is important, and he never buckles. He is a strong candidate. When I first saw him running for the Senate in Missouri, I had no idea that he was going to be such a great senator. So definitely he belongs in the S tier. The next one is Mike Pence. Now, Mike Pence, where do I put him? Do I want Mike Pence to run? Yeah, actually not. There are just so many other candidates that I would have voted for over him because, well, many reasons. Now, he has proven sort of a good choice as vice president, though, and he has managed to get a lot of evangelicals to support Trump, to sort of swallow that. He has not been very good for the suburban voters, or it might be Trump that you blame, and not Pence. I'm going to put him in the B tier, on the bottom of the B tier. Yeah, he has been loyal. I would have done the same as Pence. I would have just certified the vote, so I won't say that I don't like him because of that. I mean, you have to follow the laws. The next one on the list is Kirsten Noem, the governor of South Dakota. She goes straight to the top of the B tier. Yeah, there's a lot of people in the middle right now, but Kirsten Noem has been very supportive of the former now president. She has been strong on saying that she will defend like Mount Rushmore in her home state. She has always been there and had the correct positions in deep questions of morale, like during the summer riots or during the election. I think that she is very trustworthy, and I would definitely consider voting for her. Well, of course, if she was the nominee, without question, but she does not get to the top. Lindsey Graham. Now, Lindsey Graham is someone who I believe has developed a lot. He has become more worker friendly than he was before due to Trumpism, and I would definitely I do think I would like to see him run, and because of the changes in his policy and his strong work on the Kavanaugh hearings, the Barrett hearings, I think that he has done a lot of important things for the country. So Graham, where do we put him? I'm actually going to put him in the B tier, like randomly in the B tier, not very high or low. I mean, he is not my favorite, but he is someone who I could absolutely have supported. Marco Rubio, he also goes to the B tier. He has been a typical establishment Republican, but here is the important part. He is definitely someone who could win a general election. While Trump could never get more than 47% of the popular vote, Rubio, I think, could get 50%. Yes, they would be more spread out, they would be less concentrated in the Midwest and more in the Southwest, maybe more in Florida as well. He would definitely win Florida, he would win Texas, he would probably win Arizona and maybe Nevada, and have a much better time in states like Colorado, New Mexico, and Virginia, states that Bush carried. And the next one is Mike Lindell. Now, Mike Lindell had some drug problems. He is a strong Trump supporter. He is he's a funny guy and a nice guy, and I have nothing bad to say about him. But I can't really see him standing on the debate stage and campaigning and all that. So where do he go? He goes to the C tier. Now, there's actually very few people in the D and F tier at this moment, but there will be more in all tiers, so stay tuned. The next one is Mike Pompeo, now the Secretary of State under President Trump. I have lots of respect for Mike Pompeo. I think he's a great guy. I'm going to put him in the A tier, almost at the top. Above Kirsten Noem and Lindsey Graham, but below Josh Hawley. Now, next one is Paul Ryan. I'm not going to say to Paul Ryan, please don't run, because I don't think that it would be a problem if it did, but I would never vote for him. He does not deserve my vote. He might deserve the votes of some people in Wisconsin, and of course he did run in 2012 as the VP to Romney. Didn't go so well. I would not vote for Paul Ryan. Rand Paul is much more trustworthy, and I'm going to put him in the higher levels of the B tier. He has been a libertarian. He is a libertarian also / conservative. I think he chooses some fights to fight that are surprising, a bit weird, and some that are very important. He fights for the Constitution. He is a true constitutionalist, and something that the US Senate really needs. And saying that, it might sound that I would like him to stay in the Senate, and I would, of course, unless he was the Republican nominee, where he would be having the power to do much more. Mitt Romney, please don't go for Mitt Romney. He is getting old, and he has been fighting against President Trump during his years in the Senate so far. Yeah, he's going to be a check and balance on Biden as well, but no man. No, Romney, please don't go for Romney. He belongs with his former running mate in the F tier. Good riddance. Now the next one is Ron DeSantis, straight to the S tier. I'm not going to put him above or below Hawley. They are both S tier candidates that deserve a lot of credit, and they deserve the votes of all of us. I don't think I need to explain that. Ben Sass has been the senator of Nebraska for a few years. He's very strong against Trump, but he is also strong on some issues like social issues, abortion. He's very pro-life, and even though he's very much anti-Trump, he's also on many issues very conservative. I think he's electable, but he doesn't come high. He comes in the D tier along with Candice Owens. Of course, these two in the D tier are very, very differently, and some things like electability puts Ben Sass higher, something like ideology and politics put Candice Owens higher. So just to repeat my explanation of why I put people where they are. Rick Scott. Now, Rick Scott is the senator from Florida who managed to defeat Bill Nelson and unseat him in 2018. And anyone who manages to kick Democratic ass the way he did deserves some recognition. I do think he's very trustworthy. I think he has sort of the torch of Trumpism in his hand. But he goes in the B tier, along with some of his colleagues in the Senate. Next one is Scott Walker. I have a soft spot for Scott Walker, just like many others. He is someone who I could definitely have seen win in 2016 if he had gotten a nomination, and I believe that he is a great candidate, was a great governor. I mean, anyone who manages to win in what was then at least a lean blue state deserves some recognition. So he goes straight to the A tier and chills out there with Matt Gaetz and Mike Pompeo. The next one is Ted Cruz. Now, Lion Ted, where do we put him? I do not have any strong feelings for or against Ted Cruz. He has been working for freedom and freedom from censorship, for freedom for conservatives online, and I think that he has done very well in that fight. He's also a greasy slime ball. But you know what? Ted Cruz has been great in so many ways during the last 4 years. He deserves the spot on the top of the B tier. That's it. Yes. Not exactly the A tier yet, but you know, he could get there. It depends. I hope it's not too disruptive in the Biden administration and only stops things from happening if they are truly bad for the country, not to prevent any progress that will be good for everyone. Tim Scott, he is not a high-profile senator. He has worked with Trump on things like the inner city issues with Benny Carson. It's typical that they gather all the black leaders to work on inner city stuff, opportunity zones and things like that. But he's a great guy. Where do he belong? I belong in the B tier. There are so many people in the B tier now, it's getting too big. Tom Cotton, senator from Arkansas, okay fellow. I mean, he sort of belongs in the B tier too, doesn't he? He does. So the B tier is getting big and fat. Sorry for that, but I don't have much imagination. Okay, so we have come to the former, now President Donald Trump. Now, instead of giving him a character from S to F, I'm going to put him in Please Don't Run. And the reason is because we need new flesh, we need a new candidate, and a new candidate that does belong in one of the top 2 tiers is what I think we should be looking for. He is, people don't say it that much, but he is old. He will be as old as Biden is now in 4 years. And though he has done a lot of great things for the country, he is also a divisive figure that I don't think will be able to win the popular vote either in 2024 if he runs. And I definitely think that it's time for fresh meat, aka Josh Hawley or Ron DeSantis, to lead the Republican ticket. Donald Trump Jr., yeah, he could run, sure, why not? I mean, I think he goes straight to the already overcrowded B tier, along with his brother Eric and his friends in the Senate. Now, we have Tucker Carlson. Now, Tucker Carlson is sort of a missionary or a prophet in the era of Trump, who has been criticizing people who break with the president, people who break with the Trumpist ideology, and he has been a star. He is a rock star online and on Fox. He goes straight to the S tier along with his boys, Big Ron and Josh Hawley, and that leaves only one guy, Will Hurd, a former congressman from the biggest district in Texas along its southern border. Now, I can't really dislike Will Hurd because he manages to defeat Democrats in areas where they should be dominating. Of course, so has Tony Gonzalez. And you know, he voted against impeachment. He hasn't really gone out and been an anti-Trumper like Romney has. So I think he belongs in the D tier. I don't think that he would do very well in a primary. Maybe a bit better in the general, but that's just my opinion. Anyway, this is my ranking. If you just skipped to the end of the video, I would like to say again that Trump is in the Please Don't Run tier because the Republican Party needs new flesh, and that flesh is in the S or A tiers. Anyway, that's all I had for you guys today. Please like this video, please subscribe, there will be more to come, and I'll see you next time.